about that time. Got Muhammad back there in the background.
Yeah, ready to rumble.
All right, we want to welcome everybody up in here. Give them a few minutes to come in.
Yes, sir.
Get my notes together back here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, we ready. Sound like some Dr. Dre beat.
All right, first off, just jumping out there. This is FD and JP. I want to welcome everybody to What's the Play. Just off top, we got Corey, and I'm definitely Corey. I want to say what's up to your son, Liam. What's up, Liam? What's going on,
Liam,
man?
what's up?
Yeah, what's up, Liam? I really appreciate you all watching. Throwing a comment in the comment box. Everybody that's out there that's watching or will be watching in the future, throw a comment in the comment box. We want to interact with you. We want this thing to be very interactive. You ask a question. We have some things here that we will definitely want to talk about. But if you have some questions or some comments or some things that you want to get into, please let us know.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
My man
about.
Dakota. What's up, Dakota? Sports Cards Anonymous. How you doing, man? It's good to see you.
Okay. What's up, Dakota?
What's up, Dakota? Dakota said he rolling.
He's we rolling, huh? Okay.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you very much. All right, before we get started on What's to Play, this is the very first episode. We wanted to really throw it to the community and see if anybody had anything they want to talk about from a sports perspective, to a investment card perspective. Where is the industry going? Do we want to talk about the dip? Whatever we want to talk about, I want to open it up to the community first before we get into some topics that JP and I had said, hey, these might be some interesting things to talk about.
Oh, yeah. We always keep it interesting on What's the Play.
Yes, sir. All right, we don't have anything coming through yet.
We're going to give y'all fans some time out there because we know y'all going to have some questions that need to be answered.
What about you, JP? Is there anything that you want to get into first? Hold on. We got PSA Treasure. Sup. What's your thoughts on F1 final race and if that affects the cards? I believe it affects the cards. We were actually at a card show yesterday here in LA. And we talked to a vendor who had the winner's card, Max, had his cards. I mean, this is a card that was already valued at a little over $2K. I think it greatly affects the cards. When you have these situations that come up, these special events, or last night, Kevin Durant had 51 points in a game. That's affecting his prices right now. You're probably going to see a little uptick or a bump in his card prices. So I definitely think PSA Treasure, you let me know. Chime back in. Let me know what you think. But I think that definitely affects his card prices. Sports Cards Anonymous. Let me introduce you. You're not familiar with JP. What are you enjoying the hobby, good sir? JP, you take that. Let Sports Cards Anonymous know who you are and what you enjoy in the hobby.
My name is JP. I'm from the Chi, Chicago, born and raised. What I enjoy about the hobby is now it's open to a lot of people, young as well as old. It's not just certain people that are investing. It's women that are investing, young boys that are investing. So that right there lets me know that this is open for everybody to enjoy.
Very much so. That's very much so. We know we have a YouTube channel by the name of Women in the Hobby. Wanted to give you all a shout out, as well as I know many female collectors that I see at shows or I talk to on a regular basis that are out there. I connect often with the youth that are in the hobby and what they're collecting, and a lot of these young collectors are very savvy in what's going on in the hobby. Can talk to you about comps, can talk to you about populations, can tell you the story about why they're collecting, what they're collecting. It's an exciting time. And we got Trevor here. Trevor says, "Let's roll, baby." Okay. But JP, is there anything that you wanted to kick off with that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, yes, indeed. Let's talk about them bad Bucs from Tampa Bay.
What about it? What do you want to talk about? You talking about Super Bowl? Are you talking about playoffs? Are you talking about Brady's legacy? Are you talking about Gronk or Antonio Brown? Or what do you want to get into?
I'm talking about from top to bottom, from Tom's greatness to the whole team as a whole that's getting ready to go back to the Super Bowl and probably go back to back. Let's just talk about it. Let's just put it on the table.
I think the Buccaneers, in my opinion, the Buccaneers have a very good chance to go to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl. We know that they've had several players that have been out hurt. I think that's what allow a lot of these games to be as close as they have been. Gronk was out with broken ribs. Antonio Brown is still out with an ankle injury. We got guys on the defense that have been out. Secondary has been hurt. Richard Sherman came back, tried to help, sprained his hamstring. He's been out.
Yeah.
So this team is still winning. I mean, yesterday had a good game against the Bills. At one point, people were saying that the Bills were going to the Super Bowl and their quarterback was going to be MVP. But we don't know about that now. I mean, the way they're playing, I don't see that kind of team. So the question for me is, if the Bucs are going to be there, who's coming from the AFC?
Well, I know it's not going to be Kansas City.
You don't think so? Kansas City did well yesterday against the Raiders. Did very well.
Come on now, come on. We know who the Raiders are. We know what their identity looks like.
I can't play devil's advocate with you, huh? Yeah, we do know. All right, well, thank you, PSA Treasure. PSA Treasure said, "Love your channel," and I would think it was a great race. Sometimes luck happens, and a lot of attraction for sure. Yeah, it's great, and those kind of things bring a lot of excitement to the hobby, and also excitement to the sport. Like we talk about hockey when they play outdoor events at major stadiums, it brings a lot of excitement to people. Want to watch hockey. It's on mainstream TV at the time. Brings a lot of notoriety. It showcases a lot of stars that are in the sport. I mean, we know about the All-Star games and basketball and the Pro Bowls and football, but these are the Pro Bowl events of these particular sports.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, now Trevor knows me, JP, right? He's talking about Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum had 42 points right now. JP laughs because he knows I'm not a huge Celtic fan. I don't want anybody out there to think that. I'm a huge Jason Tatum fan. I think his game has progressed. He's come out of Kentucky. He has done very well for himself in a short amount of time in his play. So I'm excited about that.
Let me ask you this.
What's that?
So do you think they will put a team around Jason Tatum to help them win a championship in Boston, or will he have to leave Boston in order to win a championship?
I really hope they can put a team around him something my gut tells me that he's going to have to leave that team in order to go somewhere to be
Okay.
successful. But when you talk about a
Okay.
6'10" player who has handles, who can dribble the basketball, who has
Yeah.
range, can shoot from almost anywhere, and is getting more and more confident. I saw confidence with him last year versus Kevin Durant and Brooklyn more than I ever had before. I think the sky's the limit on his career, barring any injuries. I think he's going to be a great player. We'll see if he can do it in Boston. And he's becoming a better defender when you watch him
Yeah.
play. So it's going to be
Yeah.
interesting to see what Tatum does. But whenever he drops 42 or 48 or 50, I'm happy.
Yeah. I want to see if he's going to do this on a consistent basis, night in and night out.
That's true. That's true. I think that's the question on a lot of young players. Would a defense be consistent? Would a jump shots be consistent? I think he's showing us that he's climbing that ladder, in my opinion, to becoming more of a consistent player. We got Teemo. I respect FD. Believe it. I'm definitely rolling with my guy. I appreciate you. I really do. You don't know how much I appreciate to have be a part of the community. First of all, I try my hardest to contribute to it in a positive way, and I appreciate you. Next question. Next statement. I think Herbert might make it. You think Herbert can make it to the Super Bowl?
Oh
Okay.
man,
I can't. I can't. What do you think, JP?
this young guy has a lot of upside and a lot of talent. With the team that he has, I think he's missing a couple of key pieces to really help him out, to balance him, to go along with their defense just as well. But this guy has a lot of upside, has a very strong arm, surveys the field very well, could run the ball pretty decently, and could hold his own standing in the pocket, taking those hits. So I
Yes,
think
he can.
Herbert, I think he might make it.
I think he could make it. I was talking to someone today about how the Chargers have a very good chance to make it to the Super Bowl. And just imagine if there was a Chargers Herbert versus Brady Tampa Bay Bucks Super Bowl.
Ooh,
Everybody want to see that.
ooh, that's electric.
That would be exciting. We're talking about points scored. We're talking about long passes. Think about the running back for the Chargers as well as Williams at wide out versus some of the things that's happening with Tampa Bay with Evans and Gronk. That'd be a great Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
All the fans out there, let's just hope that can happen. And if it doesn't happen, I don't know who's runner up in the AFC to make a run at the Super Bowl. I really don't know. Oh, got another question. FD, why is Kobe market so low? Teemo coming with real questions. I have some ideas on this that I've shared a few times. But JP, I want you to chime in on this and let the people know. What do you think about Kobe and why his car prices are low?
That's a good question. We all know that Kobe was definitely a Hall of Fame player. Came into the league with a lot of savvy, with a lot of moxie. Uh, had to work on his game a little bit. People don't know that Kobe did come off the bench.
Yes, he did.
He had to work on his jump shot and was willing to do that. Was willing to be coached. Was willing to reach out to people such as the greatest of all time, MJ, the best to ever lace him up, to get some pointers, to learn the insides and the outsides of the game, was a student of the game. Uh, I don't understand why his cards are so low. I think possibly why it could be an issue where they're so low because him and Shaq had some differences on some things. Shaq left and went to other teams, and they felt like they couldn't mesh or get along, which I wish they could have stayed together. I think they could have won more championships if they'd done that. But I think that Shaquille O'Neal leaving had some form of effect on Kobe in his cards in the market.
So now when I look at this question, I start thinking about I always say that to me, a player's card prices is related to their likability and relatability.
Yeah.
When Kobe played, he was tunnel visioned, right? He was all about
Yeah.
basketball. You didn't see
Yeah.
Kobe do a lot of commercials. He wasn't out really talking. I mean, we're not talking about the young Kobe who did the slam dunk contest. But after that, when he started trying to win, he really pulled back and was doing a lot of stuff in basketball and focusing himself on the game. Um, and I think that just affects him. And I think that the entire time he played, most of us did not know who Kobe Bryant was. And he
Yeah.
was just starting to let us know more about him, his relationship with his family, his wife, his children, when his life was cut short. And I think if he would have if he continued to live, he would have showed us a lot more about himself and probably been more relatable to people. Most of us out here are not just focused on our job.
Right.
And when you have
Yeah.
when an athlete shows more of themselves and people can relate and catch on to something that they relate to, I think that positively affects their prices. Now, and this question speaks to the majority of Kobe cars. We know that there are Kobe cars that are well priced in the market,
Yes.
low print runs, high grades, are doing very well in the market. One could compare them to some other cars and say, well, they're still kind of down relative to this. But there are key inserts that no one talks about from his first year and his second year that are low population, high grades, PSA 10s and things I'm talking about that a lot of people don't refer to, that I think they probably will refer to as we learn more about Kobe during his documentary next August.
Oh
I think a
yeah.
lot of the stuff is going to be said during that. That's going to let us know more about his behavior, his personality, and then people may be able to relate more to him.
But do you notice more since uh, Jordan did his documentary that now people are starting to do documentaries now?
Oh yeah, there's a Kobe documentary. Oh yes, sir. Well, I mean, The Last Dance, was phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
But you got the Kobe coming. You got Magic Johnson coming. I think there's something on Bird coming. Yeah, there's gonna be a
Exactly.
lot more. It's gonna
And
be a
you
lot more.
also have the Kurt Warner.
Yeah, the Kurt Warner movie. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes. Next question. This is something that we wanted to get on tonight and really talk about from a car perspective. I want to hear from the community on what they think. Also, from an athlete perspective, what's going on with Zion? I think that's the key question a lot of people are asking. The number one pick got to shine at some point. We got to ask ourselves, what point is that going to be? JP knows I talk about this all the time. What point is that going to be?
Hey,
Zion
PSA.
comes in. I was scared ever since he blew his shoe out in college. But he comes in. You can see glimpses of a great player. You can see this guy has potential. He has ability. But his game is all power. His game is about taking the ball to the cup, spin moves. It's not about a jump shot. And I've said several times that if Zion can develop a 10, 12, 15-foot jump shot,
Deadly.
his game will really open up.
Deadly. You can say that about a
So,
lot of players
true.
in the league. If they really focus in on their skill sets, and like you said, get that 10, 15-foot range jump shot, he will be deadly.
Very deadly. But what I want to hear from the community out there is those who have invested heavily in Zion. How do you feel about your investments right now? I mean, this guy's hurt. I just read an article the other day that he has had a setback in the bone healing, the bone development in his foot. When I start reading stuff like that, that's a long time prognosis.
Oh, yes.
This guy's going to be out for quite a while. How do you feel about that? We all know there's been players that's been hurt. You could ask the same question about Kevin Durant a little while ago, and several others, Paul George, that have been out. People have made
Yeah.
investments. I always want to hear from those who have made the decisions and the strategy involved. Because I thought Zion's a good investment like everybody else. What do you think long term about this? We got my man Julius here. Julius says, "What's up, everybody?" He'll get one in Boston talking about Tatum. You think so? He's going to end up leaving, though. Him and him and Brown's a modern day MJ and Scotty. Celtics will realize and act accordingly, I think.
Oh, he thinks so. He think that these two are the modern MJ and Scotty, huh? Those are some big shoes to fill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, but I can
Yeah, they
I,
are.
I can see with the height and how they play and defend. I can kind of
Yes,
see it a little bit, but those are big shoes to fill when you say Scotty and Mike.
yes. And you know we're both biased because we're from Chicago. We're both biased, but like you're saying, I can definitely see his point with the length, the height,
Yeah.
getting off the ground. I mean, both of those guys can get off the ground. Brown can put down some real dunks on people. Can
Oh
definitely see
yeah.
that. But time
Oh
is
he,
going to tell.
yeah.
JP, let's be for real though. You remember when Scottie Pippen came to the Bulls?
Yes.
Long, lanky guy, undersized,
Yes.
a little weak on the defensive end,
Yes, sir.
easily bullied by Boston,
Detroit.
Pistons, Detroit,
Yeah.
easily bullied. So
Yes,
now
sir.
I know we're looking back. Let's give Julius credit here. We're looking back and we're seeing the greatness that happened. But I can remember when Scottie Pippen started, it was a little bit different.
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah, we'll see what Brown. The Brown has already elevated his game. He has
Yeah.
more of an outside presence than he did before. He was all about taking the ball to the cup before. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
I wish all
We'll
these
get,
guys the best. I hope that it plays out like that.
yeah.
We got Trevor here. Trevor says, question for what could you buy now for spring training? I'm thinking some football could sell into free agency and draft talk. Ton of guys are low right now. I think when we're talking about spring selling, excuse me. What could you buy now for spring selling? You could say football. But do you think, Trevor, that this is the time to look at baseball and look at baseball cards? I've been out regularly, and a lot of people are not talking baseball. And I'm noticing that baseball cards are quite low in the
Oh,
marketplace. But you chime back in here. I want to know what you. I want to keep this conversation going. Let me
yeah.
know what you think as far as for the spring. What kind of buying and selling could one get into? Oh, JP, we have a special question here from a special person.
Okay.
We got Haley.
Oh,
Haley's in the house.
what's up, Haley?
You go, Haley. You go,
Go,
Haley.
Haley.
You
UCLA in the
go.
house.
That's right. UCLA in the house. It's so cool to see you guys doing this. Thank you, Haley.
We
It's
appreciate you.
great to be on. I appreciate you being on, rocking with us, and jumping in here and leaving a statement. But thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you very
greatly
much.
appreciated, Haley.
Yep. Oh, Teemo, you have a great car. Now you're talking about the Kobe 1996 EX 2000.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's a
that's a great
great
car.
card.
But that's the card. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. That's the card that most Kobe collectors are talking about. That's one
Yes.
of them. That's one of them.
Yes,
And
it
JP,
is.
you and I have talked about this card. That's one of them.
Yes, it
But
is.
I could pull out a bunch of stuff that is pop 20, pop. I saw a card the other day, pop 53. That's a bunch of stuff. That's some low pop 10s and low pop PSA 9s in the same
Nine.
card
Yes.
that people
Oh,
are
yeah.
not. It's not coming up in conversation. And when you mention a Kobe rookie card, second year card, it's not the card that people picture. But the EX 2000, that's a great
Yeah,
card,
they talk
Teemo.
about that.
You hold on to that, Teemo. If you ever say, hey, I want to sell that thing, call JP.
Call me up. Like
That's
calling
right.
Tyrone, huh?
That's right. He says basically a hold for you until he plays on Zion. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Next, we got here. You think some of the rookies to 3-year player cards are overpriced, like Zion, Luca, or Ja? You think they'll go down over time or stay up there? The hobby, in my humble opinion, is everybody's prospecting. Everybody's trying to find the next Jordan,
Yeah.
Shaq. I'm talking about greatness in the game, impact on the game, not coming just like them. So I don't want to get that confused. We're talking about Scottie Pippen, Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett.
Yes.
People are looking for that. So yeah, a lot of these younger cars are overpriced, especially if you look compared to vintage. There are Hall of
Yeah.
Famers, bona fide players whose cars are much lower price than what you're going to see today. But what affects car prices is I can turn on ESPN, I can turn on TNT,
Yeah.
and I see the player.
Right.
I'm not getting on YouTube or some other source and looking at some vintage footage of a Kareem when he was with the Bucs starting out. I see a player today, and
Right.
that's what people want to see. And we can get into a whole nother conversation about ESPN wanting LeBron and other players to be relevant today for that same reason, because people want to tune in and see something and hear a story. But I think a lot of that goes into card prices. So yeah, I think several players are overpriced. But if you ask me, Luka and Ja are great players.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. I
Now
mean,
the Bulls are overpriced. You
yeah.
know, a guy who's basically coming off the bench.
But FD, answer this question. Where would Oscar Robinson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or Michael Jordan be if they had social media and a platform that LeBron, KD, and these other players have to this day? Will we be talking the same, or will we be talking a different stratosphere?
I'll be a game changer. All that comes into it. All that becomes into the relatability. Let's think about it. LeBron has more Instagram followers than like 3 major leagues put together.
Oh,
I don't know if
sure.
anybody out there really knows that number, but that is the truth. One person has more followers than 3 leagues put together. And his PR people are doing a great job, because
Oh, yeah.
I still say all the time when I talk to investors in LeBron, we know nothing about him personally. We don't know too much about his background publicly. He has done a great job of shaping the narrative on who LeBron James is. Now, something I wanted to get into, I'm gonna pick randomly from this list here.
Oh, look who we got, FD. Look
Michael
who we got right.
Thomas.
Michael Thomas.
Mr. Thomas, thank you, bro. Salute to you.
Salute to you,
Salute to
Mr.
you,
Thomas.
bro. It's good to see you. Good to thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And for
Yes.
those who don't know who Michael Thomas is, he won the 100 subscriber contest on Rolling with FD. And that would
Yes.
be this episode right here wouldn't be happening without people like Michael Thomas at the time and now, as well as Michael Thomas. I really appreciate you, sir. Really appreciate
Michael
your service
Thomas
as well.
is a hero on my book.
He is.
A
He
very
definitely is.
upstanding man, and shares a lot about his family and what's going on with him. He keeps in contact with FD a lot. Send FD some nice cards. FD, you gotta let him know. Talk about these cards that Mr.
And
Thomas.
Michael Thomas should know. I want him to know this, that I share stuff with JP all the time. I mean, JP and I, for everybody out there to know, I want y'all to know, who is JP? JP and I met in college. I've known him for over 28 years. We've shared a lot of experiences in life, talked about a lot of stuff, come from the same part of Chicago, have a lot of goals in common. That's why I wanted to share this with him and have him on here, so y'all can meet him and know more about him. And then you'll find out more. I guess you'll find out more about him over time. You know, we'll tell stories and about some old days and stuff we did in college and good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But Michael Thomas, thank you for being here. But I'm going to go down the list here and just pick some random stuff that I was thinking about talking about.
Okay, let's get at it.
We already talked about Kobe's car values. That was on this list. Let me ask you this. Every collector talking about, hey, I'm collecting the GOATs. I'm all about the GOAT cards. And then when you ask them who are the GOATs, they start naming a whole long list of GOATs. So the question is, are there too many GOATs in the hobby when it comes to collecting cards or memorabilia in general for these players? And I could go down because JP, I keep in my phone my top 20 list at all times NBA
Oh yeah,
greatness.
we do. I have one too.
Yes, all time. If I'm walking down the street and somebody wants to get into a debate about who's top 20, I'm ready to talk about it.
Oh
I
yeah.
know I could shake something up here and say something about Larry Bird and Steph Curry that would probably shake this whole thing up. But are
You
there
want
too
to
many
get?
goats? I guess my question is: are there two? This could be something that we roll with as we go. People can chime in. But are there too many goats per se? Let's get some air quotes going. Too many goats in a hobby.
If
I
anybody
kind of think there are.
know, if anybody notice, I got greatness behind me right there.
Yes, sir.
That's greatness. Oh
All
yeah.
right. Let's keep thinking here. Trevor said, I'm thinking for football players, whose team missed the playoffs? Basketball, you could buy now for playoffs in spring. But yes, baseball, great deals now. Baseball's great deals now. We're talking about future Hall of Famers. Anybody ever looked up some cars on JP? Help me out here with the name. Just played with the Dodgers. Uh, just left. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. But his cards
Pitcher,
are quite low. What's that, sir?
you pitcher.
Yeah, pitcher.
Oh man.
We'll come back to it. But his cards are quite low. I'm even drawing a blank on it. His cards are quite low right now. All right, let's get to another question here. Not super leveraged into Zion, but rooting for his health and success. So am I, Joe. So am I. I want him to be very successful, do very well. All young players, I wish they do very well. At some point, potential becomes reality on
Yeah.
players, and that's the brutal harshness of professional sports. A lot of people come in like, "Oh man, Harold Miner, man, he's Baby Jordan." Then before you know it, nope, he's just Harold Miner.
Yeah.
Seems like a good kid and obviously pretty important to the hobby overall. I totally agree with that.
Yes, indeed.
Hello, fellas. New here, but I've been enjoying the content. Thank you very much, peeps.
Peeps, my
I
man
appreciate
Peeps.
it. MJ and Tom Brady. That's all I need. I can agree with that.
Oh, oh, yes,
JB,
indeed.
you speak on that because I know when we talk, you say certain things. Tell the community here your thoughts on MJ and Tom Brady when it comes down to collectability. Because you told me about Tom Brady. Let's be clear here with people. Probably 2003, 2004. Some things you felt about him as far as long-term greatness. But go ahead and speak on that.
Yeah. Uh, Anybody out there that knows, I had a cousin named David Patton that won 3 Super Bowls with Mr. Tom Brady. Played with him on the New England Patriots. Uh, Tom, yes, knew about him very early on. Knew that he was a great player, but I knew Tom's work ethic. Sometimes when you put in that work ethic from day one, that has to be instilled in you. For the longevity. Sometimes you have to outwork people, and that's what he did. He put in the time, whether it was in the film room or personally with his body, and just get in shape overall with arm strength coaches, quarterback coaches, um, just working on this all around game. And that's something that you have to do to be. These people are not just greatness because they just walked on the football field and started playing or walked on the court and started playing. These people actually put in work behind the scenes that people don't see. Sometimes when we're sleeping, these guys are up working, putting in work. Same thing with Jordan.
Facts.
Everybody knows that he had a brother Larry that used to put in work on Jordan, used to beat him. What Larry was the star in high school. Everybody knew that. And Jordan actually got cut from his high school team. But he did not let that stop him. He put in the work. He began to grow. And next thing you know, the tables turned. And that's where the greatness came in at. Also, we all know about his history with Dean Smith and being at North Carolina. Dean Smith was the only coach that promised Jordan that he would not start. He had to earn his way on the team. And if you look at the team that Jordan was on, all of those great players that was on, Sam Perkins and those guys, James Worthy, we talking about
Kenny
Hall of
Smith.
Fame people. Kenny
Yeah.
Smith, yeah, we talking about Hall of Fame people here. That's what makes both of these guys so great. They could take mediocre talent around them, bring them up to a level that everybody's playing consistently on a consistent basis. Everybody understands their roles and knows what they have to do.
And we got the community helping me out here. Max Scherzer is who I was talking about.
Yeah, Max.
Yeah. Peeps and
Played at
Casey cards
Mizzou.
both came through. If anybody looks up his cards, you're going to see some great deals. This is guys a future Hall of Famer. His numbers are fantastic. His work ethic is good. So back in the day, I used to live in Detroit, and I've said this before. And I would go to games. This was when Verlander was also on the team, and I would go to games an hour and a half early, just to sit out and watch these two great pitchers warm up. Just how they warmed up. Scherzer was I just probably a common warm-up technique, but the way he went after it, he would throw the ball from center field over to the left field foul pole and just keep making his distance greater and greater. And the stretching routine he went through and everything else. Before anybody was really talking about him, he was young in the game. I think that was the second team he was with. Just watching him was just great. We got Lee Haskins. I love to see your top 20 or NBA players. Oh, hold on, Lee. JP, you keep going. Talk to him about some time. Try to pull this up. Lee, I'm gonna shake it up on you. I think you're gonna be surprised at some of the stuff I'm talking about. But go ahead, JP.
I'm not gonna share my FD can share his
I got it right now, people.
I'm not showing mine.
You see how many touches I need to do on the phone to get this up? Lee. All right, here we go, Lee. You ready? Number 1, Michael Jordan. Oh, hold on. Okay, let me go from 16 up. I'm going to go from 16 up. Okay. I already ruined it by saying number 1, Michael Jordan, but probably a lot of people thought that. So, number 16, Kevin Garnett. Number 15, Jerry West. And if you disagree, throw it in the chat.
Yeah.
All right, number 14, Larry Bird. Larry Bird. Okay. Now, you're going to get to someone who kicked him out of the top 10 because he wasn't my top 10 until about a year ago. Number 13, Kevin Durant. Number 12, Shaquille O'Neal. Number 11, all you Laker fans out there, I know you're going to love this, but I got to keep it real. LeBron James. He's not in my top 10. He's not in my top 10. And there are many reasons why he's not in my top 10. Number one reason, he's never was Defensive Player of the Year. All right, nobody's chiming in on that. Okay, number 10, Will Chamberlain. Number 9, Steph Curry. I had Steph Curry knock out Larry Bird.
Yes.
Top 10. And I think Steph is going to eventually be top 5 before he gets through playing basketball. Number 8, Tim Duncan. Number 7, I have Hakeem Olajuwon. Number 6, I have Bill Russell. Number 5, I have Kobe Bean Bryant. Number 4, I got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Number 3, Magic Johnson. Number 2, Oscar Robertson. Number 1, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I know there's probably going to be a lot of people that's going to think, I disagree with that, FD.
Man. Dude, you know you about to lose some subscribers with that number 11, don't you?
Oh, yeah, number 11, LeBron James. Akron's own. Now, believe me, I invest in LeBron James. I've been a fan since 2003. I like where his career is going, but we back to pictures. FD pictures in general don't sell well in the hobby. They're really flashy. That is true. That is true. That is quite true. But his cars are still grossly underpriced.
Yes.
Still grossing out part, but I agree with that strategy, and then yes, I do. I cannot question that. You are correct. Any thoughts regarding Bill Russell and his big auction of the collection? Now, I put out a short. If anybody's on the channel, you saw a short that I made dedicated to the work that Bill Russell is putting in with the mentor program. And that's a
Yes.
program where he's helping at-risk youth in all areas of life. It could be urban, it could be suburban, it's whatever. And he just think about this is what I was thinking about today, JP. Think about a guy who everything he's done is basketball. His entire profession, his career, what you and I know him for, what this entire community here knows him for is basketball. All his awards, his 11 championship rings, his Defensive Player of the Year awards, all that kind of stuff. He said, I'm going to give that away so that these children can have a chance.
Yes.
Raised just over $5 million. Had a jersey from the late 60s sale, game worn for $1.1 million. I don't know what you want to say about Bill Russell, but greatness.
Bill Russell, in my mind, is a walking legend. A man that has really, I think, shaped the NBA. When you think about it, was a player's coach. But I like more so Bill Russell, the things that he's done off the field, like you said, with mentoring. That's something that I'm huge in my community.
Yes,
doing a lot of mentoring with kids, also in the inner cities as well as the suburban areas. But Bill Russell is a very admired man, set with Muhammad Ali. Everybody's seen a great photo of him, Muhammad Ali, and a couple of I think it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar just as well, that were there just trying to get some things done. But who doesn't like Bill Russell and what he stands for? That's on and off the court. Never heard anybody say anything negative on or off the court about Mr. Bill Russell. That's why it's an MVP trophy named after him.
That's right. That is a fact. Speak on that. All right. So Trevor's back saying that the record tomorrow night for Steph. So let me ask you this question. All my card collectors and people in the collecting community. Tomorrow, or whenever Steph breaks this record, what's going to happen to his card values after that? Do we think that record is going to really jump his card prices up? I saw a comment from ESPN person stating the other day that Steph's still not the greatest shooter of all time because he doesn't have a clutch moment in a game to hang his hat on. I don't know about that. I don't know if I agree with that.
No, I don't agree with that neither.
And Trevor, again, Big O, if he's not second, you let me know where he's at on your list. Let me know. I got Big O above the captain. I do. Yeah. I think people fail to realize is that Big O was LeBron James before anybody knew LeBron James.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Big O was running point at his height. He was doing that before Magic Johnson.
He was something special.
He was killing with Cincinnati back in the day. He was in the league averaging crazy points a game, throwing assists. He averaged a triple-double throughout the whole season. And he wasn't like Westbrook. I know some people love Westbrook. But Westbrook could take defense off just to get that triple-double. He'll make your team worse just to get that triple-double. That wasn't Big O. JP, you laughing. You know this. Westbrook will make your team worse to get that individual award. So you hear players say, this is not a joke now. You hear players say, it's not about me. Let me go with my press conference mode. It's not about me. It's really about the team and the team win and what we've done today as a unit. Those men in that locker room, I'll go to war with them. That kind of talk, Westbrook actually do the opposite.
So in other words, what you're saying is Westbrook take plays off.
Yeah, he'll take defensive plays off. There are many times he's still down court. There's a defensive stop. There's an outlet to him because he stopped playing defense, and then he has an easy dunk or layup.
let me
There
let
are
me
more
let me put it.
highlights of that than some other stuff.
Let me ask you this question then. Does LeBron James take plays off? Do you
Yes,
think?
he does. Yes, he does at times.
Okay.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Oh, you got Julius back. He set the table for players going in for the next 60 years. Okay. Peeps, 1 for 1 would love a Russell card. So would I. I want to one day. I aspire to add a Russell card to my collection. Don't have one yet, but we all know that the Big O card, rookie card, Bill Russell's rookie card, Jerry West's rookie card. Those are great cards.
Yes.
And we talk about vintage. We historically it has been proven that vintage reacts less to volatility in the marketplace than modern day cars, and
Cards.
I
Yes.
believe that's because of the prospecting that we just talked about. Um, let's see here. Prices dropped, milestone is hit, just like when Kobe had a Hall of Fame inductions. Prices dropped after. Yep. And prices historically drop in baseball and basketball after a Hall of Fame induction. They traditionally go up before a Hall of Fame induction. I mean, those are good milestones to have, but we all know who the Hall of Famers are before they go in. But it's another line on the resume that you actually went in. I think Steph's cards, this is from Peeps, values will maybe increase a little after record, but they've been on the rise this whole season, right? They have been on the rise this whole
Yeah,
season.
they have.
I think after his scoring title last year, people start really paying attention. Like, okay, he's doing this without help. So the
Yeah.
knock on him was he was with Durant, right, JP?
Yeah.
Uh, he was with Clay. But last year he kind of did that by himself with some young players around him. You saw moments where Steph was in the huddle trying to rally his team, get his team together. I think that makes a difference. We talk about relatability again. We all go to work sometimes. Sometimes we have to step up for our team, rally our team, get our team together. People can
Oh
relate to
yeah.
that.
But see, a lot of people don't, probably are just starting to learn about Steph. But I talked about Steph even before all this was going on, before he was
I'm gonna tell.
shooting.
I will tell people this. I'll tell people this. The first person talking about Tom Brady to me and long-term greatness was JP. The first person talking about Steph Curry, even when I was like, I don't know about that, JP, was JP. We're talking about Steph. Steph came out in 2009. I started hearing stuff in 2010, 2011. Like, you need to watch this kid. He's developing well. His shot is getting stronger. You started telling me what Mark Jackson was saying about him back
Oh
in the
yeah.
day.
Oh yeah.
So once
Bill,
upon
Bill,
a
Bill,
time,
Bill.
people, I tell you, we're all wrong at times. And I'll tell you this, and JP's gonna laugh. There were times that I said, Peyton Manning's a greater quarterback, better quarterback than Tom Brady. There was a time, people. I used to get on the phone with JP and be like, "No, I think Peyton Manning's better player than Tom Brady." So we all can be wrong.
Peyton was just put in great systems.
He was surrounded by great players. Mr. Thomas, I feel Curry's cards were near double when his career is over. More titles than LeBron. I believe he will have more titles than
Yes.
LeBron.
More
Go ahead and
titles than LeBron.
speak on that, JP.
Yeah, I think Curry will have more championships than LeBron. Look at the nucleus that he has. He has a younger nucleus that's with him now. And just think, we still missing a key piece. I think two key pieces. We're missing Klay Thompson and we miss James Wiseman. Now we
Yes.
all know James Wiseman reminds me of a young KG, Kevin Garnett. A lot of energy. I'm telling you, this kid is going to be special. This kid is going to be great. This kid is going to be special. I've known a little bit about him, but let me tell you who told me about James Wiseman, and that's FD. FD hit me to him, say, "Hey, have you been watching this young kid, Wiseman?" I'm like, "No, you know me. I'm going to do a little bit of research, a little bit of homework on him." I started watching this kid in college, and I think he only played what, 8 games, FD?
3 games.
3 games in college. Yeah,
3
sorry.
games at Memphis.
Yeah. Coached by the great Penny Hardaway, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
3
coached by
games.
Penny Hardaway in high school.
Yes.
Yes.
But FD did give me the inside scoop on Mr. James Wiseman. Now, just wait till Golden State gets these pieces set in place. I think they're going to go on a run that we have not seen before.
A run like win 3 out of 3 or 2 out of 3. Something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the kind of run I'm saying. Lee Haskins, appreciate you. And this is a great card. Most expensive card and love it is a Wilt Chamberlain rookie card.
Yes.
Now that's a gem.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't care, me personally, what grade that card is in.
No.
That's a great thing to have, and especially in the history of basketball and what Mr. Chamberlain represented. It's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll share my top 16. I need to round that out to the top 25. I need to add 9 more to it. But hey, I want to hear this. Anybody think that Curry should knock Bird out of the top 10? That's a question I have.
You love shaking that tree, don't you, FD?
Yeah.
He loves shaking that tree. He loves stirring it up.
All right, Marcus. Who do you guys have for the Final Four in the NBA this season? I think Steph wins a title. You see a bump in price, but the price I think is baked in for the shooting record. I agree with that. I agree about the bumping in price and the shooting record. Who do I see in the Final Four? Phoenix, Golden State. Now we're talking about no injuries, nothing crazy going on. This guys going out and playing basketball. Those 2 teams I think are coming from the West. They got to battle it out. Some kind of way, I think Ayton is, when we get to the play, Ayton played well in that first game. He was a problem. The 76ers beat Golden State the other day. Embiid was a problem. You can tell. That height at the center position is something they need to overcome, either with a key defensive plan or with Wiseman coming back, or maybe even another acquisition that we don't know about right now. But something there has to happen. Now, who's coming out the East? I think is an even tougher question. I think Brooklyn has a shot, but everything is on Durant's shoulders right now. JP, who do you think is coming out of the East? That's an interesting question.
I think the East is wide open. I think it's for anybody who can go on that great run. I think the key with people coming out of the East is who can stay healthy, who can go on a great run, who has great guard play, that can do the 3 Ds, draw, drive and dish the rock, and get your key players involved. If you could do that, then, but I think the East is just wide open. But the West,
I think so too. I can't think of a team that just sticks out, or players that just stick out, or a system that's consistent enough that comes to mind.
Yeah, it's wide open to me.
Yeah, I can't think of one. Marcus, if you chime back in, if there's someone in the East that you think of that we can talk through, is a strong contender for the East, I'd love to hear that. All right, let's get through some of these. Oh, Peyton was better than Brady passed him. Okay. But I think when I agree with that, Peyton was still probably the smartest at the line, but Brady is just a better QB now. There are 2 parts to Tom Brady. There's the Tom Brady that's on television doing an interview that's like, oh man, I'm just happy to be here. I love my teammates, and wow, I just can't believe I'm in this position right now. And it's just, football is such a great sport. It's that Tom Brady, right? And that's the one that everybody likes, and it's like you want to invite him over for dinner or something. Then it's the Tom Brady that will destroy you, who is fundamentally sound, who knows what your defense is going to do before you even try to do it. who's calling out Mike linebackers and what gap they're going to blitz or not blitz, and what zone they're going to drop back in. Is that safety walking up? He's talking to his center. He's telling his center on how to direct it. You watch a game. He's telling his center how to direct the offensive line.
Ooh, speak
I've
on
never
it.
seen. Believe me, I'm a lineman. I'm watching what's going on the line. I've never seen a quarterback that's like that. Peyton Manning also was a student of the game and didn't get caught slipping too many times on not knowing what the defense was. But if you tell me who's going to outthink who and who, if there's two plays in the game that comes down between very good players to determine that game, and I put all my money on Tom Brady
Brady.
anytime over anyone.
Brady any day of the week. It's just like when Ray Lewis said, when you walk into the Lions den, you better ask yourself, who are you going to deal with? And I know who you're going to deal with in the Lions den, and that's Tom Brady.
And now, JP, I know you're gonna like this one. Mr. Thomas, the most unappreciated player in the hobby is Draymond Green, future Hall of Fame, a defensive monster,
Yes.
aka Rodman. Mr. Thomas, just so you know,
Salute to
JP,
you.
JP loves Draymond Green,
Yes, sir.
loves him. He is underrated. I think he'll always be somewhat underrated. When he retires, people probably try to knock him and say, well, he played with the Splash Brothers and other players to give him those championships. But if anybody's watching the game, you know if he's out, they have major problems defensively.
Yeah. And Draymond, can't nobody say nothing about his effort and heart. This dude is undersized, but he understands angles. He understands how to position himself. You're right, Mr. Thomas, just like Rodman.
Marcus says, I got Bucs Nets. It's open, though. I think Kyrie is coming back. I read an article today that some people are optimistic in the organization, the Brooklyn Nets organization, that Kyrie's coming back.
Man, look, I think that with Kyrie coming back, I think that may disturb the team, because some people might feel like this dude quit on them. And you can't tell nobody what to do with their body and whether they want to get shots or not. That's a whole nother subject. I don't get into all of that. Whatever they do in their personal life, that's their business. But when it comes to a team, we all know, we all played on teams, whether it was high school, college, semi-pro. We all know that if you are a person that's on a team, you're going to do anything for your brothers that you band with in a locker room, on the court, on the baseball field, or even on the ice. You some way have to check your pride and your ego at the door and rally with your fellas or whoever you rolling with. Like I'm rolling with FD right now. I got to check my pride and ego at the door, baby, because we rolling.
So do I. So do I. Julius has a good point here. I think the intensity of Booker and CP3 is going to continue rubbing off on Ayton. He's baking right now. Suns are scary for the next few years. Julius, this is one thing I'll say. Each game I watch, CP3 is probably giving him 3 alley-oops a game. He better hope that CP3 does not pull a hamstring.
I'm just getting ready to say that.
Or have any kind of physical issues at all. You know what you're going to see, Ayton? Straight down. Yeah. Now, if CP3 stays on that court and remains healthy, oh, yeah, I agree with you. Ayton is going to be a player to reckon with because they're going to play that pick and roll, and they're going to try to pick and roll you to the wheels fall off to make sure that you're in that paint and trying to play some defense. But offensively, Ayton creating for himself?
No, I don't see it. I don't see it. Because he plays with his back to the basket.
Back to the basket and not too many post moves.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about, the game is over. What do y'all think about the Rams, LA Rams, beating the Cardinals?
They just beat them?
Yeah. Oh, wow. 30-23.
Oh, people in Phoenix are going to be so upset and disturbed right now.
Yeah. It's funny how the length of the season is just clearing all this stuff out. Everybody who started out in these runs and doing something, it's not happening, man. It's not going down. I did see AJ Green make a good catch, make a spin move, and attempt to score.
Oh wow.
That was beautiful to see. That was like AJ Green about 6-7 years ago. That was beautiful, right?
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Game 6, 2019 on the road versus the Rockets. Steph Curry goes 33 in the second half with no KD to close them out. That's a recent big moment. JP, you got to remind me. Some of these names slipped me. Who was the ESPN person I told you the other day that had some feedback? That's always on ESPN. He was
Stephen
the
A.
one who
Smith.
made the statement.
Stephen A. Smith.
No, the other guy.
Kendrick Perkins.
No, the other guy. He's like a writer. Always had something controversial to say.
It's not Max Kellerman.
Mm-mm.
It's not Skip Bayless.
No, you're getting very close.
It's not
He's
Shannon
based out of
Sharp.
LA. Based out of LA. I can't remember his name. But he made this statement about Steph Curry. Joe, I totally agree with you. Steph Curry has a lot of big game moments.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
without question.
when he pulled up on OKC the year before
Oh,
Kevin Durant came over,
ooh,
with confidence, not even
ooh.
just making it work for itself. And when you slow that down, the rotation on the ball, and you see everybody's heads go
Yeah,
like that, yeah, he has a lot of big moments.
dude, and the range that this dude shoot from with ease blows my mind, baby.
Well, it's all about the body mechanics, right? He's made this shot thousands of times.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But see, Steph put in the work though. This ain't something that just happened overnight. This guy put in work. Regular season, off season, practice. You know, and we all know his dad was an assassin just as well.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. So let's see here. Corey, FD, I'm a new collector, and I have a question. I was building the 2021 Dahmer's football set in a binder, and then I realized that there are some cards that have like 3 variations. What is your question, Corey? Am I missing you? Okay, here we go. Are any of the variations top loader worthy? Also, all of my cards are in order. Where do I put the cards? LOL. I don't want to reorganize them. Corey, I would just ask you probably want to use penny sleeves and top loaders just off top, just to make sure
Mhm.
you preserve, keep your cards in order. I would stay away from putting them in a binder because we're talking about edges and corners that you want to preserve. But then I would go through and look at comps either on eBay, 130 point. You could look at there are several different sources for you to look at comps to understand what your cards are worth. And then you can take it from there. If you have more questions, please feel free to jump in here on future episodes of What's to Play, and I'll answer all your questions. You can also hit me up on Rolling with FD on Instagram. I'll answer all your questions. You can hit me up on rollingwithfd@gmail.com. Send me an email. I'll try to help you as much as I can. He might not have a signature shot talking about Curry, but has third quarter and fourth quarter runs. He just doesn't miss. I'm gonna keep doing some research until I find out the name of the person who made that. But JP, you kick off. I got one topic here for you. Let's see here.
Okay,
Uh,
let's go, baby.
let's talk about the Lakers.
Ooh.
I know we're about an hour into this, and I don't want to bash LA fans. I really don't. I just like to talk for real. We can start talking about the Bulls. My question about the Bulls is, can they get to the playoffs and win games? You can look impressive in game 45 of the regular season. But can you get to the playoffs and know who takes the final shot in game 5, 6, and 7? And be consistent in your play. You can't average 17 points a game and go down to 13. So that Bulls are my team. And I look at them and I think I'm so excited that they have this young talent together. And they brought over Caruso. And they're doing well. But what are they going to do in the future? I don't know. So I don't want anybody to think I'm just picking on their team. But what about the LA Lakers?
I seen something about somebody on YouTube. I think I responded to a comment. They said that Caruso held Steph, was locking him down and all this. I'm like, okay, you may think he locking him down. But let's talk about the longevity of how long Steph been doing this. How long has Steph been an assassin? How long has Steph been shooting from the range he's been shooting at? Let's get on that.
Mm-hmm. True.
I mean, nobody taking nothing away from no professional athletes. But when you talk about somebody locking somebody down, we're talking about for their whole body of work. We all know that when the Bulls played the Lakers, that Scottie Pippen defended Kobe Bryant and kept his numbers down. It wasn't just for certain games. It was for expand of careers. It's body of work. That's what we got to look at here. We're talking about a body of work.
Hey, Corey, you looking at that? Again, we're here as a resource to try to help. Oh, here's a question. Teemo, who do you think will have the better career, Joe Burrow? I love this question. Justin Herbert. Talent-wise, I got to go with Burrow. Did you hear that, JP?
Yeah,
Did you hear what Teemo said?
I'm not too sold on that. I'm going with Herbert. I'm rolling with him, Teemo.
So Teemo, just so you know, JP is a big Herbert person. He should be. Herbert is very talented. I mean, I haven't seen the strength from a quarterback's arm that he has in a long time. I mean, I don't know if it's John Elway or thinking talking about letting that ball go, man.
Ooh, did you hear what you said?
I know. I know. Oh man, I'm gonna say Elway or Dan Marino.
Ooh, that's another legend that had a gun,
Yeah,
baby.
some big names. But Herbert let the ball go, man. There's no hesitation, and his accuracy is pretty nice. But Teemo, I also like Burrow a lot.
Yeah, yeah. The kid he's a rookie. He had just like any other rookie, he has stuff he has to learn. But I know that he'll get better at it. He'll definitely get better at it.
Oh, look at Marcus here shaking the tree and see what falls out. Marcus said, I have Lakers or Warriors for the finals out of the West if health. Okay. That's a big if. It is a capital IF, Marcus. Well, AD can be hurt, but that's all about it. AD will be hurt.
Yeah.
AD hasn't played a season in his career. Well, he's not hurt in this game.
Not been hurt. Yeah.
He will, even if he's drinking carrot juice every morning. AD will be hurt. That's just what he's going to do.
And to me, the only reason why they won the championship inside the bubble last year was because it was a shortened season. They only played what 30 or 50 games, I think it was. Something of that magnitude.
Hey, Nick Jackson has a great question. Are non-QB cards worth collecting? And if so, do they hold value into the future? This was something that came up maybe in a conversation or something on Instagram just a couple of weeks ago. We all know running back. I'm just looking at stats right now, just going by strictly stats and longevity of career. Running backs have a much shorter career than a quarterback. Yeah. We all know that. I mean, their careers are shorter than some linebackers.
Yep, 3 to 5.
So when you talk about collectability, I'm with quarterbacks first. Then I have to see what running back are we talking about. Even a running back like Adrian Peterson, he has some cards that are highly sought after.
Oh, that's a great
But his
running back
car
there.
prices do not even touch a solid quarterback that's been playing for as long as he has and putting up Hall of Fame numbers. It just does not. Um, Ben Roethlisberger is a quarterback where his card prices are even higher. So I will go quarterback first. Running back is you got to see what this player is going to do. Jonathan Taylor right now, JP, running all over the field.
Oh yeah.
All right,
Oh yeah.
Jonathan Taylor may be out of football in 3 years.
Yeah. But somebody like AP, Adrian Peterson, is a bona fide Hall of Famer. Let's just put that on the
Yes,
table.
he is, but his card prices won't touch a quarterback who is a bona fide Hall of Famer and
Oh
has been
no,
playing as long as he
no,
has. No.
it won't. It won't. And I think sometimes that's something that you hope that a shift in the market, in these running backs get the due that they deserve.
Yeah, I agree, Julius. I remember Burrow, what he hurt his finger a week or two ago. He came back, kept playing. I think since he's been hurt, you're not seeing that guy leave the field unless he cannot move. And when players go through that, JP, you've played, I've played. Once you've been through an injury or you have been through a surgery and you miss the field, think about Clay Thompson right now. He's not coming. When he comes back, he's not coming off the court. He's been
Yeah,
wanting that. So, yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
yeah, he's a different man. But with me is um, you will have to be careful because he is the franchise in the future. So you don't want to subject him to a major injury. You just got to watch that very carefully and monitor how he's playing.
Now that you say that, what about Justin Fields? Justin Fields has a lot of talent. He's comes on the
Great,
field, he's going to take a beating.
yes, great
Do you
point.
play him or do you sit him and wait for his team around him to get better?
You, FD, you will have to put pieces around him. Definitely, I would start with that offensive line.
But I'm saying though, right now, would you throw him to the dogs and put him out there and he's going to take a beating and he may get hurt, or do you wait until you get those pieces next year around him and then play him regularly?
I would say let him play so he can kind of get a feel of the game. I would definitely say let him play
Well, the
because
finances of sports. The finances of sports. Like he's going to play.
yeah, I mean, but eventually he's going to play anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of teams suffer because their offensive line suffer. I'm not saying you have to go out and revamp your whole offensive line. You may need to get somebody to protect his blind side and to make sure that he's protected on in different areas of his offensive line. But he has to have that protection. It's the same thing with
And
the kid over there in San Francisco, Trey Lance. Now, to me, I think he's a better quarterback than Jimmy G.
you know what I think? You
Yeah,
take Jimmy G out
and
and
put Trey Lance in.
You put in Aaron Rodgers or
Oh,
another
dude.
quarterback, and that team's going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, without question.
Jimmy G is the
Without
only thing
question.
holding him back. It's like when Teemo threw that slant to Demaryius Thomas. Rest in peace, Demaryius Thomas. Love
Yeah.
Demaryius Thomas.
Rest in peace, Mr. Thomas. Yes.
That team was Super Bowl ready. Then they brought in Peyton Manning and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's all
Let's
okay.
talk
Look,
about Demaryius. Can we talk about Demaryius Thomas for a little bit?
yeah, go ahead.
The way he played the wide receiver position, the way he blocked, the way he ran his route when the ball was definitely not coming to him. His demeanor on the sideline as well as on the field, his hands, his tiptoe out on the sideline before he went out of bounds catching the ball.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, I know a lot of people don't talk about him, He's not one of those people that creates controversy and he's in the new headlines all the time. But he was a phenomenal wide receiver
All around.
all around.
All around. Yeah.
I just want to take a little moment to show my appreciation to Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah. Condolences to him and his family. Our prayers are with you. Somebody that's going to be sorely missed. I know that they're probably going to put him in the ring of honor, probably up in Denver. I know
Oh, he'll go up.
yeah.
He'll go up.
And shouts out to the Bronco Nation out there. Keep your head up during this time and just be prayerful and know that we're gonna keep his memory alive by celebrating him every chance we get.
Yes, sir. Trevor asked, this was a while ago. I saw the Russell collection at the National back in July. So did I. I walked past that, saw that. Jerseys up, things from his career. It was great to see. This is from Marcus as well. This is only on court, right? Because, man, some of those picks aren't marketable pick players at all. Oh, yeah. We talking about the top 16 list? Yeah, that's on court. That's performance. That's not talking about cards at all. That's a totally different list. That would be a totally different list. I'm talking about just a player. I want somebody to chime in. Let me know. I saw a few people saying, "Well, I don't know about Oscar Robertson #2." Just let me know who's your top 5, because there's some players who we don't have enough footage of. We can't really see what their performances were. I used to get deep enough to read newspaper articles on
Oh
players that I
yeah.
couldn't find. Oh yeah, that I couldn't find footage on to understand what kind of player were they. What did they do?
Yeah.
There are some players that are outside of the limelight right now that are excellent players. That's why I had them high on my list. Joe said he sold his Big Herbert early and picked up a Big Burrow, for better or for worse. This is all about what you like. What do you like to collect? Who do you believe in? I think both of these players are
Great
going to
cards.
be good players. They're good cards.
Yeah.
Um, it'll be known who wins more championships, who has more yards, who has more touchdowns.
Yeah.
None of us can predict that. None of us will know. But Joe, if you believe in Burrow and you like the way he plays, that's a great card.
Yeah.
Great card to have. If someone out there believes in Herbert and likes the way he plays and wants to invest in him long term, also a good play.
Yeah. But Mr. Joe, you can't go wrong with either card. Both of those cards have great upside, for what they're going to bring to the football in the future.
Very much so. You see, I'm gonna make sure I'm not missing anybody. All right, we got 24 on right now. Hold on here. I saw some good stuff at the bottom here. Do you think Brady can get MVP this season? Yes, sir. At this point, Lee Haskins, I feel like it's Brady's award to lose.
I would definitely say.
He's leading in almost every offensive category right now. He's arguably having the best season. This season goes back to the season where Randy Moss caught 23 touchdowns.
Woo! Come on, dog.
And that was special because we all know
Listen,
Jerry Rice had 22 per year before for 1 year before that. So this
this
goes back to that year.
this is what and people, and let me pose a question for people out there. Tell me who was the last quarterback to go back to back and what year. Let me hit y'all with that. But let me say this right here. Let me say this right here. Just look at the players that Brady played with. Just think of if you took some of the teams that Peyton Manning had, that Joe Montana had, what would Brady do with those teams and those players? Just think if he had a Jerry Rice or Michael Irvin early in his career, what he would have done with that, or Randy Moss early. Just think if he had Randy Moss for 4 years. Come on, man. Come on now. Don't. I'm already charged up. Don't get me too charged up with this question.
Beast Texas. I love the name. They can't do it in the NFL, kind of like Gonzaga in the NBA. Same deal. Like, is it because of the competition they see? They don't translate to the next level. I play college football. College football is not the NFL. They're really two
No.
different sports. They look
Yeah.
alike. People put on helmets. People fasten those helmets. People run down a field. They kick field goals. You see coaches giving signs from the side. You see people cheering in the stands. But it's two separate sports.
It is. It
Not
is.
even the
It's
same
not the
sport.
same. The speed of the game,
Speed of the game is crazy.
the terminology, the film study, the work that you have to put in on your opponents, and I mean, it's a lot that goes in. Don't think these athletes just walk on the field and start playing. That's in any sport. It's a lot of things that you have to put in, that's behind the scenes that we do not see. Just think how much film study Brady had to put in, or Peyton Manning had to put in to study his opponents. Not only study just his opponents, but every aspect on the field. These guys knew, like FD said, these guys knew what type of formation he was going to put in, was going to be put in. They would do certain things. Nobody, Brady would motion players in and motion back out just to identify what type of coverage they was in. A lot of people
Because then
don't
you're
know
going to
that.
see a shift. For those who don't know, you're going to see a shift. When that motion goes, you're going to find out who's strong, who's weak, how you
Yeah,
running what. If there's a shift on the line, did the linebacker take a step? You're going to see a
yeah,
whole bunch of stuff that we talk about all the time. You're going to see
yeah.
that. And
And,
that's
and,
why that
and
stuff happens on the field. A lot of people are asking, why is that player running back and forth? Why does one receiver step back? Why does somebody else step on the line? You're trying to see a whole bunch of stuff before that ball is snapped.
yeah, it's nothing more than a chess match between defenses and offenses, coaches and coordinators, all of those things. And we all knew, if you look at some of the great linebackers, we can start with Mr. Willie Lanier, Ray Lou, and my man for the Chicago Bears, Mike Singletary.
Yes.
We all knew that these guys played from sideline to sideline, A gap to A gap, B gap to B gap, and C gap to C gap. We all knew how these players got down. And one thing you better have buckled up when you play with these dudes is your chin strap better be buckled up, because these guys was going to hit you. So,
Come with nothing but pain. Teemo coming again. What do you
yeah,
value more, game use material or on car auto? In both of these scenarios, it all depends on the player, um, the rarity of the item. There's a lot of things that go into play here with this question. There are some game use items not worth too much at all. Nobody's going to talk about them. Like if I had a Harold Miner game use gym shoes, I gotta love Harold Miner, right? I gotta be a big USC fan, a big Trojan, to really want to have that item. Other than that, the marketplace is not going to rate that highly or think about it highly. On car autos the same way. But if you have a player that's rare that people want to talk about or was significant in the sport itself, both of those are good to have. I don't know which one. It also depends on what you like. Again, um, one is easier to store. That has a lot to do sometimes with the value of something, how someone can
yeah,
transport it and store it, and what they're going to do with it. How do they
oh
show
yeah,
somebody else? Like, do you pull that jersey out and they be like, "Hey, JP, look at this jersey," or do you just pull that card out? You know,
yeah,
all that goes into play. But both of these types of items have a market. They have collectors that uh, transcend both markets and collect both things. Some are only one. So it really all depends. But if you like either one, they're great things to invest in.
It's very funny that you brought up USC.
Oh yeah, okay. What you want to talk about USC?
Man, that's just like, okay, for instance, Reggie Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think somebody will want some Reggie Bush items?
Some people would. Yeah, there are some people that I know that would, based upon only because of what he did in college. And this is
Yeah.
another player. We talk about, okay, this is a great segment here where we're talking about college football, professional football. You can't make the transition, right? Reggie Bush's game did not make the transition. And it's
Yeah.
because in the NFL, you have to cut back. You can name 1,000 players that play running back that couldn't cut back. The ball is going towards the A and B gap, but everybody has pushed down, and now this over here is open. If you can see that, you're going to probably have a Hall of Fame career unless you get hurt.
Oh yeah.
But if you're like a Rashawn Salam, a gap opens, and you're just running downhill, and you don't ever look back, you're not going to be in the NFL for long. Unless you're playing backup, you're definitely not going to be the starting running back. So that's what we talk about, two different games. So Beast Texas says again, it's weird with the Ohio State QBs. Has there ever been a good one, NFL one? We both just talked about this the other day when Ohio State was on playing Michigan. I'm on the phone talking to JP, and I asked him the same question, ironically. When has there ever been an Ohio State quarterback that came out and was really great? Think Fields, Haskins. I call Haskins, JP knows. I called him early. This guy's not going to get it done. He's not going to get it done. He looked. I always say this. He looks like a guy who works out all the time, but it looks like he never works out. Then we got Barrett, Pryor. Dudes throw 45 touchdowns at OSU. Yeah, it doesn't mean too much anything.
Nope. You just threw 45.
And there are other schools. We're not just picking on Ohio State. There are other schools that have put out quarterbacks that just historically don't pan out for whatever reason. Whatever. But Ohio State puts out linebackers, running backs, some receivers.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out whatever happened to my man Andy Katzenmoyer.
He just wasn't a good NFL player. He just was not.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
He was kind of like Brian Bosworth back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened with Brian Bosworth? He got to the NFL, and then Bo Jackson took him to school.
Took him to the woodshed. What he did?
Took him straight to the woodshed. Yeah, Bush was the truth in college, Marcus. I totally agree. But I played a play the other day, and he had some crazy things happen in his career where he got hurt. Like when he just got signed by the 49ers. I was watching this on YouTube the other day. He's running out of bounds. He slips on that surface that's around the stadium on the outside of the grass area, and pulls his hamstring or something just by that slip. He has some crazy injuries.
Yeah.
We got a monster in Dallas, Michael Parsons, 7th pick, 99th in rush yards, first rookie to win Defensive Player of the Year since LT, or first with 14 sacks and 11 tackles since James Harrison. Michael Parsons is a grown man playing with 6th graders, it looks like.
Yeah, but for me, I'm looking at longevity. I want to see. Now, you mentioned LT, bro. That's a whole different stratosphere, a whole different category.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about James Harrison. It's another thing. That's a whole different category, a whole different strategy. Not taking nothing away from Michael Parsons. This dude is the truth. I think he is the truth.
Athletically.
He's a freak of nature.
I saw a play on a Sunday where someone came to cut him. He just jumped right over that play and kept running to the quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
And they were cutting him high. They were cutting him high, JP. It wasn't like they were on the ground. He just leaped right over there like it was nothing. Kept moving.
Yeah.
But you remember Lawrence several years ago for the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah.
And people were saying, man, this guy was a great player. But then he got hurt.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's, it's the longevity of it. I want to see how he is in the longevity. If he's still playing at this level, To me, the next 8 or 9 years, let's revisit this conversation.
And it's just like the corner that played his Diggs.
Yes.
He's a freak of nature.
Oh yeah, a ball hawk.
Man,
Yeah.
I love to see them play together. Yeah. DBU, huh? All right, Teemo. I see. I see. All right. You know. All right, we got Sports Cards Anonymous. Vince Young was the truth. So let me tell y'all a story. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away. So Vince Young was definitely the won the Rose Bowl, single-handedly took care of USC.
USC.
I mean, he was the man in that Rose Bowl game. He'll always get my respect for that. But I always joke, Dakota. I always joke with JP that I don't know if most people know this story. He's like, I don't know if most people know this story, but Vince Young is playing with Tennessee. His head coach, what's his head coach name? Former Bear.
Oh
His head
man.
coach starts benching Young. And then there's a game where he takes Young out of the game, and Young is frustrated.
Steve
It was the
Fisher.
last game. Yeah, Fisher. It's the last game that I think Young played with Tennessee, where he takes his
Tennessee.
helmet, his shoulder pads, and the way it looked. Those who have carried a helmet inside shoulder pads, you put your helmet in, you carry it by your face mask, and your shoulder pads are wrapped around. He took all of that, got way back, and threw that into the third row of the stand. That was the frustration of Vince Young with Fisher. And after that, he really didn't have a career. I mean, he backed up Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. He really didn't have a career after that.
Man,
But
that was
Vince Young was the truth. I loved him. I thought when he was coming out, I thought he was about to be like Randall Cunningham Part 2.
yeah, VY. That was my dude, man. Hey, no, you know what? Shout out to VY, man. I love that dude. Great player. I mean, a hell of a player, man. Hell of a player. Had a hell of an arm, can run, can read defenses, the whole nine, baby. The whole nine. He was the
The
truth.
whole 9. Let's see if we can get up to 30. We got 29 people in here. Let's see if we can get up to 30. We've been rolling. And I can keep going. So, Grant, rolling with FD. I just got myself a Kawhi 2012 Innovation Stained Glass Rookie. Great card.
Ooh,
Great
yeah.
card. What are your thoughts on Kawhi? We
Hall of
go
Fame.
back. Now, I think JP and I are going to differ on this. We'll see if we do. We go back to likability. We go back to card values. We're talking about a player. I don't have any questions on Kawhi. 0. Yeah, this guy can play ball. This guy's has locked down LeBron James in certain playoff games. Well,
It's
LeBron
kryptonite.
verbally, before anybody argues me, verbally admitted himself. If anybody's seen the footage where LeBron's at the free throw line versus San Antonio in the playoffs with Miami, and he looks over and see Kawhi coming in the game. Kawhi's on the bench. He's
Yep.
coming in the game, and you see LeBron just look back several times. Oh my, okay, this guy's coming back in the game. That's who Kawhi is. I don't have a problem with Kawhi at all. From a collectability standpoint, he doesn't talk a lot, doesn't say too much, keeps a lot of ideas. It seems like in his head to himself. Laughs awkwardly at stuff sometimes. I just don't know if I'm a big collector of Kawhi, where his car is going long term. I don't know. I really do not know. But I do know the 2012 Innovation Stained Glass card is a great
Excellent.
card of Kawhi.
Now, I differ from FD on this because this dude not only won with San Antonio, but he also won with Toronto. Taking that young team, putting them on his back, carrying him, hit a clutch shot. We seen that clutch 3-point shot he hit.
Mm-hmm.
We all know. we all know also too that LeBron James' career would have been different if Ray Allen did not hit that shot.
True. And Tony Parker and Kawhi was running at Ray Allen that day.
Yeah,
True.
yeah, we all know that would be totally different. But Grant, that is an excellent card, my friend.
All right, next one from Beast, Texas. Greatest game I've ever seen, USC versus Texas. Greatest game I've attended, Clemson versus Bama. You've been lucky and blessed.
Yeah,
You've seen
bro.
some great sports here. Seen some
Yes.
great sports. FD, you still working on your b-ball shot? Now, y'all, you remember that episode, JP?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. That was a great. You know what? I wanted to share that with people. If you haven't seen that, go back. Check out the episode. I'm talking to a basketball coach of youth. He also coaches actors who are going to play roles as far as basketball players in movies. And he was trying to help me with my shot. And when I was in college, I was a decent basketball player. We would go out, football team would play, basketball team. And
Yeah,
JP remembers this back in the day, and we would handle the basketball team.
yeah.
Just handle them. I was a person, I was a player that was down cleaning glass, moving that big man out the way, running the court, pushing the ball, taking shots when I was open. I was decent.
Sound like
You know,
Stuart Scott.
you put a brother in the no excuses here before I get into this. You take me out to sing, you put me at a job for a while, my game goes to trash. So you saw in that you know I was trying to shoot the basketball and I had no touch. And I wanted to show everyone that. Like I didn't want to keep that to myself. You know, we went home and looked at it and we were in the house laughing. You know, I'm crying. My son is crying about how funny this is. So I just wanted to
Oh,
show
I was
everybody.
crying too.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to show everybody you know, FD, I can laugh at myself. I don't take myself too seriously where I cannot. There are some funny things that we have shared, JP and I have shared over the years that are hilarious. There's some friends that we've had. Things are hilarious. So I love to share that. I look forward to do that more in the future.
Oh
If
yeah.
they present themselves organically, you know. And that was an organic situation because if you see that, I'm trying every minute while I'm out there to make a shot and nothing is going in.
He said
Yeah, Matt.
organic.
Hey, Matt, what's up? It was good to see you last weekend. I appreciate you being on here. Yeah, Fisher was the coach of the Rams. He also was a backup DB with the Bears in '85 when they won a championship. He got hurt early in his career and went
Yep.
straight to coaching under Buddy Ryan. He started coaching under Buddy Ryan, and that's when his coaching career took off.
Oh yeah.
Um, but he was the coach of those Tennessee Titans when Vince Young was coming through. Matt, thank you for rolling again. Appreciate you. Titans
Rolling.
curse, huh? Got one here. Hold on. Titans curse. Started with Vince Young. Jake Locker. JP, I know you know about Jake Locker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Marcus Mariota. Well, you know, certain franchises draft certain players. Uh, and Mariota, I thought was okay. His arm strength was always the issue for me when I saw him play. Jake Locker, never believed in Jake Locker.
Yeah.
Just
But
never did. Me personally.
but we also have to look at the market. Tennessee is not a big market. It's just like to me, it's kind of like Oklahoma City, not a very big market. You know, some players may want to go there and play. Some players may not. You know, but now that they got one of those great New England guys up there coaching them, they seem to be doing well.
Yeah, they seem to be doing very well. Very well. We can see what they do without their star running back, but they've been doing very well. We got a few more here. Kawhi, I would compare to Tim Duncan as a collectible or a David Robinson. Similar personalities there, kind of. I look at the value of
Mhm.
those cards to predict the future of Kawhi. I agree with you totally. And it's all about relatability again, likability, understanding how that player really does what they do and how they relate to their fans. And these players that we're naming are great players.
Oh yeah.
Tim didn't like talking in public. There are many people I know that don't like talking in public. Doesn't take away from his game at all. I have several Tim Duncan cards in my collection, and I think highly of them.
Oh yeah, without question.
Ooh, this is a good question. FD and JP, who's the most famous sports player you have ever met in person or played with or against? JP, you go.
Oh, I had two cousins that played in the NFL, but we're not going to talk about family. Um, Geez, I'm drawing a blank on who I met. I
Well,
had some.
while you thinking about it, I can jump in. The
Okay.
best player I played against was Rod Smith for the Denver Broncos. Great wide receiver in college and in the pros. Very tall, 6'3", 6'4". Had great speed for a guy 6'3", 6'4", and had great hands for a guy of that size as well, and could run a route. And at the time, he was a fifth-year senior, hurt himself, applied for eligibility a 6-year, came out at 6-year. He wasn't even on the NFL radar, people. Came out his 6-year and just dominated. Wheeled
Okay.
himself into the NFL. Most favorite famous player you have ever met? I've met a lot of athletes through collecting autographs. Just a lot. Willie Mays I've met, Hank Aaron, Jim Brown, Willie Sargent,
Yeah.
Jerry Rice, John Taylor. I think a lot of John Taylor.
Yep. Howie
A lot.
Long,
Howie Long I've met.
Fred the Hammer Williamson.
Yeah, Fred the Hammer. Met him, think highly of him. I met a lot of players over the year.
Warren
Ernie
Sapp.
Blanks, Eddie Matthews,
Yeah.
Yogi Berra. I met when I was like 15 years old.
15 years old. Yeah.
I met a lot of players.
A lot of
Um,
players.
a lot of greatness.
Yeah.
And what's so cool is a lot of people that would take the time to talk to someone when they don't have to. One of my favorite players I ever met. Now, believe me, I have a story about almost everybody I just named. But the old Raiders quarterback, the Snake,
Oh yeah.
Kenny Stabler,
Yeah. Old Stabler.
he was a very relatable, down to earth person. We talked football. I had already been through college and played, and I met him, and we talked about like X's and O's and how he threw the ball and what he was trying to do. And he joked with me about how much he didn't listen to the sideline. He kind of did what that's why I think they call him the Snake. His running ability too was underrated, but he just did what he wanted to do on the field and paid the price. I mean, the hits that he took and the things that he went through. But he was one of the first quarterbacks with like Dan Fouts to really open up an offense and start throwing the ball around. I remember meeting Jack Tatum one
Woo.
day. Yeah, well, you talking about a player?
Whew.
Um,
Will clean
there,
your
there,
block.
there are a lot of players,
Yeah.
and a lot of good stories that we'll share on here going forward. But
Yeah.
there are some great stories of players and what they share and what they talked about. That
For me, probably be Tim Hardaway, played against, come from Chicago, Marcus Liberty, Byron Irvin,
yeah,
uh, great players. Met Mr. Curtis Gentry, who played with Gale Sayers and Brian Piccolo at a NFL Hall of Fame party out in Kissimmee, Florida one year. Reeve Sorey, who used to block for Walter Payton.
you know what's
Uh,
funny? Reeve Sorey, he comes to a camp that I'm in. Have I ever told you the story?
I
I don't
don't
think I've ever
know.
told you the story. He comes to a camp that I'm in high school. This is true. This is a true story. He was the first person that let me know. You know, when you're doing something, there are people along the way that kind of speak to you and tell you certain things that give you encouragement to keep going.
Oh
And
yeah.
sometimes when you're from an urban area, I would say, because that's what I'm familiar with. I can't speak. You could be the same way from a rural area, I think. You think I may be a big fish in a small pond in your mind, and you think, okay, I know I can play well in this league, but is that transferable to where I'm going to college or the conference I'm in, or if I play
Right.
this team and they have D1 talent, am I ready for that? He pulled me aside at a camp, watched me move, watched me block, watched me do certain things, and he pulled me to the side. Was the first person to tell me, "You know, you can play, right?
Wow.
You can really get after it." When he told me he wants me to be focused on what my goals are, go home and understand what kind of player I want to be, and become that player. Practice on your footwork as a lineman. It's really important. Practice
Yeah.
your footwork, where your hands are going to be. Um, make the defensive lineman go where you want them to go. He talked to me all about that for about 10 minutes, and then put me back in to drills and just watch me. And that was like a 3-day camp, and he encouraged me every day that he was there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Mr. Thomas, yeah, you've had some quarterbacks that have not panned out.
Ooh.
Carmazzi? Yeah, yeah,
Kamani?
that's a name. That's a name. You talking about a guy. Ooh, it's
Now,
not
now
panning out.
Kamasi was a dude that was drafted in front of Tom Brady. Can you believe
Yes,
that?
yes, yeah, yeah. And I hope he's out there right now watching this.
No, he should be.
Yeah.
He ain't got nothing else
Mike,
better to do.
yes, Mike Aldridge. Is this the week Ben Simmons finally gets traded? If not this week, when and where do you two see him ending up with? Hmm.
We had some people that said they wanted to play with Ben Simmons out there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we have.
I
Me
think Dame Rich.
personally, me personally, Ben Simmons needs a jump shot.
You think he needs jump ship?
You think he needs no, he needs a jump shot. He needs a consistent jump shot.
Oh, okay. I thought you said jump ship. Okay.
He also needs to get out of Philly.
Oh yeah, yeah. That locker room is it's going to be divided if he comes back and play. It's going to be a lot of tension, um, which could eventually, I think, hurt the team in the long run. You just hate to see great players be at odds with each other and can't work things out.
True.
You
Yeah,
know?
Jack Tatum, rest in peace.
Yes, he
Yeah.
was an assassin, baby.
Let me just tell you
Ooh.
this, and this is how it is sometimes. I go to a state fair. This is a true story. I'm walking around a state fair with some friends, and Jack Tatum is sitting at a table signing autographs for a donation. And I just started losing it, right? You know, that's Jack Tatum sitting there, and everybody I'm with is like, "Who is that?"
Yeah,
He's a
Jack,
great player.
man, I'm telling you, man.
Oh, Michael Thomas is coming from the rooftops here.
Ooh,
Lynn
Lynn
Bias,
Bias, of course. Oh man, come
great
on,
player. Michael Jordan said that it was the best player he ever played against in college. Great player. If you
man.
watch, please, everyone that's on here, please go watch YouTube videos of Lynn Bias. You're talking about
Oh yeah,
footwork, being able to shoot a jump shot, defensive presence, everything you want from a big man. Lynn Bias had it.
I'm talking about Lynn was the real deal Holyfield. He was the truth.
I met Walter Payton in person when I was 17 at a local driving range, and I swear I saw his aura. Like Iverson said about Jordan in the Hall of Fame speech, he was super nice, larger than life, and only 5'8". I had the opportunity. Bears had won the Super Bowl. So we're talking about past 85. This was like 87, 88. Walter Payton is downtown Chicago signing autographs for free. And it's one autograph per person. So my mom gets something signed, I get something signed, and my dad gets something signed. And he was probably one of the most personal people you want to meet. Huge hands.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Probably why he never fumbled the football. Strong grip when he shook your hand. Just very pleasant to meet and talk to. And he held a conversation with us. And very humble. Very humble guy. We got a few more here. We've been on rolling, JP.
Oh, yeah.
We've been on here rolling. All right. Ben Simmons needs to go to Alonzo Ball's shooting coach in the offseason to figure out what Alonzo did to become lights out shooting threes. I hope that happens. I hope that happens.
You think Alonzo Ball is shooting lights out?
He's improved.
Yeah, he's improved. I would say
he's improved as a three-point shooter. I don't know if he's lights out, but he has improved.
Yeah, he's improved.
Ben Simmons. Oh, hold up. Let's see here. Ben was a stand-up guy. His first year at LSU. I guess he's just not happy in Philly. Reminds me of Eli refusing to go to the San Diego Chargers. Yeah. There's been a few players who've demanded to be moved or to not go somewhere. Do y'all remember that Eli replaced Kurt Warner at one point? I don't know if most of you remember that. Let's get two more questions. Do we have two more questions or two more comments that we'll go off of? We've talked about a lot tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. Hold on, man. Thoughts on CJ McCollum for Ben Simmons? Well, we all know that CJ McCollum is going through a strong health situation right now, to be very serious and very honest. I wish him the best for that. I hope he comes back strong and full. I guess that trade could be made, but I think whoever's getting Ben Simmons is winning in this situation. Excuse me, is losing in this situation. CJ McCollum is a pretty decent player. Know what you think, JP, but he's shown me more than Ben Simmons.
Oh, CJ McCollum is a great, excellent player. As far as he has a jump shot, he can handle the rock. His decision making, he fits well with Dame Lillard. I think if they get a couple of more pieces up in Portland, that they can do some damage. And shout out to my man Chauncey Billups. You know, my man
he's done a great job.
Yeah, shout out to my man Chauncey Billups. Shout out to my man Teron Lou. But yeah, great coaches, man. I think if you put a couple of pieces with them up in Portland, they can do some damage up there.
You know, I think, JP, people are here reading your mind. Hi, y'all. So can Aaron Donald be compared to someone like Bruce Smith yet or Reggie White?
No way.
Pretty obvious Donald is up there, but you all think about Donald might end up or be.
We talking about listen. When you say Aaron Donald and Reggie White in the same sentence, no man, we can't. I can't make that comparison. Now, I can't
and
take
JP
nothing
is saying that. JP is saying that because the NFL has totally changed.
Yeah,
has completely changed. Do you all know that in Reggie White's day, Bruce Smith's day, you could be blocking him, either one of those players? I could be blocking them. JP could come cut them while I'm blocking them. It's a totally different. When you talk about linemen and getting in there, it's a totally different game. So Aaron Donald's a good player. He's playing in a different league, and he's playing in a league where him being so undersized almost doesn't even matter as much as he used to be. A player like him would have been beat up and brutalized. Probably career cut short from lower extremity injuries compared to today's game.
Yeah.
JP, tell them who you usually talk about. When I talk about when I say something about Aaron Donald,
Ooh, my man, Minnesota Viking, John Randall. Johnny Randall, baby. Ooh.
John
I'm
Randall
talking
had a
about,
motor, never stopped,
ooh,
went undrafted, Hall of Famer today. Never had
man.
any quit in him. And there were games where I could see Minnesota getting beat down by 30 or more points. John Randall still playing.
Still knocking them
Still playing
out.
ball, people. So, I think Aaron Donald's a good player. I don't know. I agree with JP. I don't know if you can compare them with Bruce Smith or Reggie White, just because he plays in a different kind of era of football.
Yeah.
And also, Aaron Donald, if you watch him, because I've watched a lot of his games in the market I'm in, he's not coming out the game. So he's working to get those numbers up.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
probably incentivized in his contract to get those numbers up. Another question. My Luka collections got me worried. Dallas can't swing free agents. And he showed up 30 pounds overweight, holding some 5K. Yeah. Yeah. I have a Luka Doncic. We're all collectors. I have a Luka Doncic Prism silver rookie card. I think he'll get it right. I think you'll see Luka lose his weight. May not be this season. He'll lose weight. May have to switch up his diet a little bit. But I think you'll see him get it right. His offensive ability is very nice. So just hold tight. I don't know. Some collectors, you might be a collector, Beast Texas, that's trying to move these cards. I don't know. But I would say hold tight on him. I think he'll produce. I'm more confident in me personally investing in Luca than a Zion right now, but that's just me. Oh man. Hey, JP, you want to read this one? Let me have you. You want to read that one out loud?
Aaron Donald compares to Mean Joe Green. Inside players that have destroyed everything up the middle. Aaron
That's deep.
Donald and Mean Joe Green. Bruh,
That's deep.
please.
I
Come on
respect you,
now.
Beast Texas. I respect you, but that's something else.
I'm not
In
I'm
my
not buying
opinion,
that.
yeah, Aaron Donald again is a good player for today's game. Mean
Yeah.
Joe Green, the whole game was totally different, and he dominated. Ben Simmons might have a similar situation to Carson Wentz. A new environment might help him take. Yeah, I agree with you, Julius. A new environment that would definitely be good for Ben. I think there's been too many things that's happened in Philly to affect him and how he's going to play the game. I think it'd be best for him to move on. I agree with JP on his comparison. Like JP said, look at the longevity. True. Yeah, the NFL is much different. Yes, man. It's really a totally
Yeah.
different game.
Yeah, it
As
is.
much as college is different than the NFL, the NFL today is nothing like the 70s and the 80s. Not even like the 90s.
Oh
Totally
no.
different. That was a big change from the 70s to the 90s.
Yeah. The way you can destroy the quarterback or destroy a wide receiver coming across the middle.
Well, you
That's why
talking
you got
about
the
Jack Tatum. Jack Tatum was clothesline. If you were that wide receiver coming across the middle, you were gonna get clothesline.
oh
If
yeah.
you did that today, you're probably not in the game. You're gonna get fined. Deacon Jones. There's so many
Whoo!
players. Matt, you're speaking now. You're
Matt,
talking.
Matt talking. Come on
Yeah.
with it, Matt.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
man. Matt talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deacon Jones was
Yeah.
a beast, baby. The fearsome foursome.
That's right.
Yeah.
We only
Yeah.
have the stat of a sack today because of Deacon Jones.
Yes, sir.
No one talks about Bruce Smith, Reggie White. Man, they put up those numbers when the NFL was 60% run game. They have 30% more sacks in the passing era.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Beast
Look at
Texas.
Beast
I
Mode.
agree with
Beast
you.
Mode. Look at Beast Mode coming with the knowledge.
Yeah, he coming with it.
Yeah, Mike. Luca will be fine. Just needs a shot creator who can help him handle the rock. I think we got to get rid of. I told someone the other day that only person that should hold on to on that team is Tim Hardaway Jr. Everyone else on Dallas needs to go, including
Yeah.
Porzingis.
That's
Needs to
it.
go.
That
We need some consistent scorers in there, and we need some defensive stoppers and rebounders. And that team
and
just doesn't do that. If Dallas is not going to outscore you,
no,
they're not winning the
no, they
game.
won't. And Tim Hardaway is a good friend of mine. So yeah, his son Tim
Yeah.
Hardaway Jr. Yeah, need to keep him. Great
Hey,
player.
Teemo. Greg Lloyd, right? We joke all the time, JP and I. If you go back and look at when the Dallas Cowboys, this is when the Steelers coach, we didn't know if he was going to make the Hall of Fame or not. But when Greg Lloyd was playing the Dallas Cowboys, Nate Newton took Greg Lloyd to school.
Yes, he did.
Took him
Took
to
him to the
school.
woodshed.
Greg Lloyd was on skates. But Greg Lloyd is a good player. My era favorite, D's Greg Lloyd, Rodney Harrison. Rodney Harrison's a great player. Kevin Green, great player. And Suggs Lewis Reed.
Oh
Okay.
man, yeah.
All right.
I had a friend that played on that team with him, won Super Bowl with him. That 2000 Ravens defense, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great defense, baby.
Now, Michael Thomas, you know we're never going to forget about Bryant Young.
No,
Never
man.
going to forget about Bryant Young.
Nah, the 49ers, baby. Can't forget about him, baby.
Yeah.
He had some great ones up there too, Mr. Thomas.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he had some players up there. He just been on the drought. You know,
Yeah.
when you're on a drought, you think back to the last glass of water you drank. You know, he just been on the drought. It's gonna be all right, Mr. Thomas. Like I
Yeah.
said, get yourself a quarterback, and you get back in a Super Bowl.
They
And
have
you're winning a
one.
Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
You just can't be with Garoppolo, man, who looks
No.
great one moment, and then he'll throw a pass. You're like, but there was 3 defenders around that receiver. Why are you
Yeah.
throwing that ball?
But claim that he's better than Brady? Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to talk yourself up to you. You got to look in a mirror and just be like, I'm better than Brady. You got to talk yourself up. Will the Jazz ever win a championship? No.
No, they won't.
No. Never will. No. Nope. You paying all that money to Rudy Gobert? No.
Nah, bro.
No. He's a defensive player. But like Shaq said, everybody that's 6'9" and over with decent footwork, you should definitely get paid if Rudy Gobert is getting paid.
You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mr. Thomas, you're good. All right, Jimmy Bosa. Jimmy Bosa, right? It's a Jimmy Bosa on that team, right? One of the Bosas.
One of the Bosas.
Yeah, he's a good player. Both Bosas are good players.
But good players. Bosas are game records.
Well, they are, but you know, just like my friend JP said, I just want to see some longevity.
Oh man.
You know? I just want to see some longevity. I want to see a guy come out just out the gates, ready to go, and then before you know, oh wow, man, his career was cut short.
No, man, them Bosas are game records, man.
I wouldn't want to block them. Let me say this: I wouldn't want to block them. These are big men with a battery, and they don't stop. They got a motor. They just don't stop.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, we got a few more here. We could go all night, people. We could go all night. Man, Florida had Teemo, and his backup was Cam. Imagine if Urban Meyer figured the package out. Hey, imagine if Urban Meyer was figuring out what he's doing right now. Imagine. Did you all see? I hope you all saw a clip today. That was a reporter at a press conference. Just handing it to Urban Meyer, just asking him all kind of questions about what's up with his whole line and when are they gonna get it right. Urban's just standing there.
He had no answer.
No answer because he's probably thinking, I have 3-4 more weeks in this season, whatever it is, then I'm out. I don't see. You see Urban Meyer coming back next year?
No, ain't no way they bringing this dude back.
I don't see that.
The
I think he's probably already had a
divided.
conversation with some people about playing out the season, and then that's over with.
Yeah, it's done.
So much talent in sports throughout the time, awesome stuff, and a lot to learn. Very true. Very true. You got errors. You got different players playing in different times and different talents. I talk all the time. Could Kevin Durant play against the Detroit Pistons in the 90s, 80s, and do what he's doing now? I don't know. We'll never know that. But I think if you took Durant, slammed him to the ground a few times, and put him in the 4th seat row of the bleachers, his jump shot may be a little bit different. I don't know. But, Michael Jordan had to go through that.
Yeah, but you can ask
Uh,
the
it-
same thing about LeBron.
that's true. But if Mike Jordan was today's game and there was no hand checking, what is Michael
Woo,
Jordan doing today? Probably averaging
50.
50 points a game.
Yeah, 50. Easy.
All right, let's see here. Yesterday, Herbert became the only quarterback to throw 30 touchdowns in the first 6 seasons. That just tells you it's a different time in football. If Dan
Oh yeah.
Marino didn't do it, there's a different time in football.
Oh yeah.
We can't forget about my Saints and Dunn Patrol, Ricky Jackson. Oh yeah, Mike Swelling, Sam Mills. I met Sam Mills once. Yep, Toy Cook. Good teams. I mean, good
Yeah.
defense.
Oh yeah.
Good defense. Miami have Clinton Portis, Frank Gore, and Willis McGahee. Yeah, they did.
Woo! Hoo, hoo, hoo.
Mm-hmm.
Beast Texas is on his game tonight.
Yeah, he's
These
dropping now.
dudes, these dudes was a problem. All three of them was a problem. Running that ball and running that rock, that was a problem.
Yes.
All these dudes, Miami dudes, Miami Hurricanes. Shout out to Miami Hurricanes. Sapping the boys.
Oh,
Yeah.
they had a Hall of Fame team running around. Mr.
Oh yeah.
Thomas, salutes to you. I hope you're still here before you go. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. I'll come back next Monday, 8 p.m. PST, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be right here talking. We'll have more topics, some refreshed topics to talk about the JP and I. You know what's kind of cool though, before we get off of here, is that every question that I had down here, someone in this chat room brought it up.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. That
We
just lets me
appreciate
know
you all
that,
out there.
yeah, we're thinking someone on the same page. And if there are things here that people have learned tonight, that's great. I know I have learned some things tonight from the comments that have come into the chat. I'm pretty sure JP has as well. I just appreciate you all being here for the first episode of What's the Play. There's going to be more
Yeah.
to come, people. Much more to come. We're going to be breaking down different things, having different segments. This live will continue to grow and evolve. We're going to have guests that are going to come in and talk. I would
Oh yeah.
love for different people in the chat who regularly watch the show to come on and talk about different things with us. And we could have several different people in a giving sitting to come through and talk to us about stuff. JP and I have talked about this for a while. Wanting to get on and have a live format to share our ideas with people. Us too, we can be on the phone or in person talking about sports for a long time in one setting. So we decided to come on and share our ideas with the community, talk through things. Oh, we're getting great comments here. Thank you, Teemo.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. OG
Yeah.
Card Scammer. You know, you always in the house. Appreciate you. Thank you, Beast Texas.
Yeah. Beast Texas. My man.
Colorado Sports too. Thank you very
Colorado
much.
Sports. My man. Shout out to you.
And Mike, don't even worry about it. You can tune in late.
Yeah.
This stuff will be on YouTube, and then the next time you come, just hold your question. Come back. Or if you
Yeah.
want to shoot us a question ahead of time on Instagram or email, please do, and we will answer those questions. So,
Yeah.
JP, before we get off here, you got anything you want to share with the people?
Yeah. I just want to tell everybody thank you for tuning in to FD in our show, What's the Play. Hopefully, we get more people to join. Just have your questions ready. We're definitely going to answer questions. Hey, shout out to you, Mr. Francis. Appreciate you too, brother.
Thank you, Julius.
Uh,
Appreciate you, man.
yeah, just have your questions ready, and we're definitely going to get your questions answered. Me and FD talk throughout the week, talk almost every day, pretty much. So we look forward to having people come on in and join us on What's the Play. And I just want everybody out there to know that everybody that tunes in to What's the Play and Roll with FD, we appreciate you and God bless you.
Yeah, we do. We really appreciate you. This has been kind of like grassroots. We've had some ideas. I know I've had some ideas, and I've shot stuff off JP. for a long time. I used to I still hit JP up when I was getting autographs from people and say, "Hey man, what do you think about this inscription?" And we talk through it because it's meaningful. You know, I'm not just getting in a line and getting something. I want to look back on something when I'm in a rocking chair one day and think about it. We talk about all the time in Rolling with FD. It's about the memories. Tonight, on December 13th, we're not going to forget that this is what this segment of our channel started at, and it's going to evolve from here. We're going to look back on this in 6 or 7 months from now and be like, that's how it started. And just so y'all know the meaning of everything here, right? The background, G and I went over this today. The sky's the limit. That's why we got clouds here, because there's really no borders on what we're trying to do in our lives, in the community, or whatsoever. And we consider everybody that's here in the chat room and beyond. Even if you didn't make the chat tonight, you're making it in the future. If you didn't make the chat at all, and you saw this on YouTube, you're part of the family. You're part of the support system that we enjoy being around and talking through things with. So, JP, anything else you want to tell the people before we go?
Yeah. What's the play? And we still rolling.
Yes, we are. Won't be the last, people. We'll be back next Monday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. We're going to give y'all a little music to roll out to. OG Card Scammer, you have a safe trip coming back from Arizona. That was a good game to go to.
Good, excellent game.
Peace. JP, you have a good one, brother.
Peace. All right.
Next week is on.
Yes, sir. We out.
All right. Talk to y'all later.